Our training camp preview continues with camp just a few days away. And let's talk about the important third phase, special teams. And there are a couple question marks here for Darrin Simmons' group. No Giovanni Bernard. He's no longer in town, became a big part of the special teams unit last season. Well, he's not here. So who's going to be that punt protector? That's one of the many jobs up for grabs. Another one that hopefully isn't up for grabs is kicker. Will Evan McPherson just roll? And I think a lot of people are hoping that, right? You take a kicker in the 5th round. You don't want it to be like Jake Elliott, where he kind of underperforms in camp and Randy Bullock gets the job, and yikes, that's not what you want. So they got Austin Seibert. They have Evan McPherson. I don't think it's necessarily a competition, but if you're Evan McPherson, and I've heard him talk about this, I think he was on with Dan Horde on the Bengals Booth podcast, and he said he treats it like a competition, and that's the way to do it. So that's the first thing I'm going to be looking for is how is he from a kicking standpoint, for kickoffs and field goals? Is he consistent? That's the key. Can he be consistent? We know he has a big leg. We know he's capable of hitting 50-plus yard field goals. Is he going to make the easy ones and be able to drill most of those long ones? That's the question. If so, I talked about it after the draft. I think it was a great pick. If not, there's risk in that when you take a kicker that high. But there's a lot of other jobs up for grabs too. Let's go to the punt side. Are we sure Kevin Huber can just come back for another year? Are we sure that that's it? That there isn't going to be a competition here? Because to me, Huber was good last year. Not great. But you claim Drew Chrisman, another Cincinnati native. Or not claim him. You sign him as an undrafted free agent. And to me, it's Cincinnati native versus Cincinnati native. And Chrisman, really good punter. The key here, and Darrin Simmons has mentioned this during interviews, holding. Can Chrisman be a reliable holder for the field goal team? If so, and he's out punting Kevin Huber, I'm not sure he's going to yet. And I think he's a great practice squad candidate for a year because Huber's only on a 1-year deal. So you could go that route as well and just kind of an heir to the throne, so to speak, who can learn from Simmons, learn from Huber for a year. But I think it's a competition, at least a little bit. And so that'll be something I'm watching. And then as far as kick returner goes, that's the one that's locked up, right? Brandon Wilson. But punt returner is interesting. Darius Phillips, I would say, is probably the favorite because he's just so explosive. At the same time, injury prone. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. I know that's something that concerns the coaching staff. And so you have him, and then what are you banking on? And there's where we're going to get into some guys where it could open it up. Pooka Williams, can he emerge as one of these guys that makes the roster because he's a good punt returner? Could Trent Taylor be the guy who they signed after a rookie minicamp? Maybe Riley Lease, the undrafted free agent. So there are options for Darrin Simmons. But in a couple I didn't even mention, right? But at the same time, you can only give so many reps. There are only so many opportunities. And I think who emerges there, who can put together what Alex Erickson did a few years ago, right? In 2016 when he just kicked Brandon Tate's ass in camp. And that's why he won that job. Who can do that? Because I don't think it's just Darius Phillips' job. It's who can bust out and have a couple big returns and show they're capable and not afraid of the moment. That remains to be seen. Certainly something I'll be monitoring. And then the other thing, you lose a Ethan Carter to the Miami Dolphins. Which one of these tight ends, and this is more offense, right? But which one of these tight ends can be good enough on special teams? Which one of these running backs can be good enough on special teams to earn that 3rd spot or that 4th spot on the roster at their respective positions? That's another thing I will be monitoring. And if you missed it, we have our offensive and our defensive previews. They are up. They are ready for your viewing pleasure. And man, oh man, training camp is almost here. Just know we're just getting started here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and maybe leave a comment, leave a like, and heck, maybe even follow us on social media. All of our handles are in the bio. Until next time, when I might be joining you from Bengals camp, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.